Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 5. Here we're going to be setting up the lighting for the scene of this evening kind of house interior. In this episode, we're going to be going over how to set up the lights. First off, we'll start off with IES spotlights. So this scene is going to be comprised of 3 lighting sources. We have the primary lights on the roof, and primary lights on the walls, as well as a surrounding sky, which will be the HDRI dome light, and then we'll have additional accent lighting. So first off, let's make the IES lights. We want to set our view to top. We want to make sure all the other layers are locked, and we'll go onto our lighting layer. And we might as well make a new layer for this. It's always good to keep all your lights on one separate layer. So we'll go to V-Ray, V-Ray lights, IES light. And then we'll set the radius, and then using our other viewport, we'll hold down Shift, and then you can press Shift and Tab, and this will lock the light so it goes on this axis. Then we'll set it to the height. So you want to load in the IES light. I will provide one file in the document, but you can download these online. There are plenty of free IES lights to download. Then we can change the color of our layer just to make it more easier to see. So all our lights will be in green. Select the light and hold down Alt and drag using Gumball, and this will create a duplicate of our light. So we can continue this process. You see now all these lights are under this one IES light setting. Alright, so now we're going to test out our scene and adjust the intensity of these lights. So we're going to our viewport here, and we'll set up an interactive render. We want to set our exposure value to about 13. And we'll change the output. For now, we'll change it to about 800 and aspect ratio at 4:3. So let's do a test render. As you can see, the lights are a bit weak with the standard settings, so we want to change this by increasing the intensity. So we'll check the lumens and intensity, and we'll change it up quite a bit to about 5,000 or maybe 50,000. There you go, so we start to get a bit of a lighting coming on. So we'll try 70,000. This looks about good for now. We can always change it later on. If you notice, some of the areas of the scene may not light up. You can change the direction of each particular light by highlighting it and typing points on. And now you can select the light target point. So this way the light will light up depending on what direction it's facing. So if you don't want the front to be lit up, we can move this slightly back and do the same thing. And selecting that light target point, we move it back slightly. And so this way you can light particular parts of the scene that you want to be lit up. But in this case, our lighting is set out evenly, so there is no need to change this. Load in our dome light, so we'll turn our IES lights off. We'll go V-Ray, V-Ray lights, go to dome light. We can just position it anywhere in the scene, so we'll just place it here. We'll go into our dome light, and now we'll set a color for it. We'll do this in a live view so we can make adjustments and see the result of each adjustment we make. So we want to increase the intensity to about 30. Now we want a very nighttime kind of dark lighting. The color will be very intense, but this is what we want, as it is a perfect for our scene. So we just play around with it and adjust it until we get a light temperature that we're happy with. I think about here looks good. So we'll test it in conjunction with our IES lights until we got a nice balance. So judging by this, I think the IES lights could be slightly increased. Just want to make very small adjustments. I think this looks about good. I'll put in the cylinder lights on the corners, on the sides. It's the same principle with the IES light. Make sure we use our viewports to set up the lights correctly. And then same principle as last time. Just hold down Alt and drag. Then we'll open our asset editor again and do a test. Make sure that all the other lights are turned off. So this looks about good, but we want to change our parameters slightly. I just increase the intensity of it and increase the size of the diameter. Don't want it too big or too small. So I'm happy with about this, and we'll turn on the other lights just to get a view. I think it will be good to adjust the color temperature of the outer lights. So we'll just put a slight orange tint onto it, just to create a contrast from that harsh dome light. So that looks good. Some accent and fill lights. To do this, we're going to use the V-Ray rectangle light tool. And we want a light just to fill up the gaps within these walls. So we'll set our parameters. And rotate our light so it's facing the right way. Move it down slightly. Then we'll use our top view to place these. These lights are just to fill the void areas and increase the overall lighting of the scene. So using the same process as the other lights. We'll just do a quick test. So you can see our lights in the background here, filling up this little gap. It's about 1000, looks good. I would decrease it just because the IES lights are already quite powerful themselves. So that's good just to fill up that gap. It'll be more effective once we put the background in, which is the dome light. And you can see it really lights up those dark areas. For this case, we're just going to go ahead and remove these blinds. We'll do this now perspective view. So we'll just unlock the layers. Of course, if you're setting up your own scene, it's up to you. You want to set it up how you want, but we're going to remove these blinds here. And now we'll just see what our accent lights look like. As you can see, once we remove the blinds, it's now lighting up the darker, rare areas. So those are our fill lights. Now we're adding some accent lights along the bottom here. Same principle with the rectangle lights. We'll just add about 2 per panel. Using our Alt and drag to copy and paste. You can either do this in the 3D perspective view or 2D, whatever's easier for you. Alright, so let's go ahead and test this in our viewport. We can use our region render here to just see what these lights by themselves look like. And that looks good. So they're lighting up the bottom. And then got our fill lights on the top here. So all of our lights are enabled together. And we'll set up a non-interactive render. And we'll see what our scene looks like all lit up. So this scene looks nicely lit. I think it is a bit bright, so we can adjust some of the parameters. So we're going to turn the intensity of the dome light down a bit, and then the exposure value to about 13.5. And this will create more of a moody atmosphere. It pays to just play around with some of the settings. We'll increase our IES lights. Just to really perfect it and set the mood. But it's all up to you on what kind of mood you want to set. Yeah, just playing around with those settings and it will give you this result.